these people too, and sort of the top echelon of the builders and the designers and all of them together. And the meeting that I had, they said, well, we want to build the best gills in the history of the company. And they never said, we want to build the most, you know. And it was something to me that was important. There were some ideas that I had. I was on a plane and I was writing all these things down. And I thought, yeah, and I want this and I want that. And I didn't change anything. And I took it to our first meeting at Guild, and they said, wow, you sure know what you want. This is based off of an F-47. And so we made it a bit thinner. I mean, the sound literally bounces off the back and comes out the front. And if you make it more shallow, it's quicker to respond. Also, maple has always worked for me, and this is a beautiful piece of quilted maple. It just really holds up well, you know, because a guitar can distort just like anything else. Also, the mahogany neck works great. And I found out through the years I had maple necks before, but I think with all the maple that you have here and with the reinforcement that you have here, making a stiffer neck here with this strip of walnut, and it also adds to the tone of the guitar. And I found out that also Guild has always been sort of a step ahead of things that I thought I knew a lot about. Oh, we've been doing that since the 60s. One of those things is an Adirondack top and Adirondack bracing. The folks at Guild call it red spruce, but it's Adirondack. And I'm thinking, wow, you know, my top, more expensive boutique guitars that I've only collected in the last few years had that. So to me, I was looking at Guild as, really, this is a boutique guitar company. It really is. I mean, these guitars are like handmade instruments. I love the Florentine cutaway. It has a little wider neck. This is 1 3/4. We also shortened the scale to 25 1/4. But you still really get a lot of fullness when you have a longer scale, but you also can reach better on this guitar. And there's a sweetness that you get in the top end if it's a little bit shorter. The tuners are actually some of the top Godot tuners ever been produced. And they also space the tuners out where I can... which may not appeal to everybody, but it's something I've done for years. Each one of these have their own little piezo pickup on the inside, inside the bridge itself. This is an LB6. This is the pickup that Paul McCartney and James Taylor, Phil Keaggy, a lot of my friends even like that. Phil's one of my best friends, and I love his sound. Yeah, this is an LB6. Oh, no wonder. And then also this is the Element, which is a preamp that they'd never put with the LB6 before, but I said, well, if I'm on the stage of the Grand Ole Opry, because the first one they sent me, they just had a little volume control here or a tone or something. I said, look, I need a little more control. So yeah, this works very, very well. I'm very pleased with the tone of it. When you're playing a big song, you're by yourself, and maybe it's a huge auditorium, this thing will absolutely fill the room. There's stories too, like the White Rose. This came from a story that I wrote in a song for my daughter called White Rose for Heidi. Chet Atkins was a good friend of mine, and I remember asking him, I said, do you mind if I put these markers on my guitar? I'm not doing that to copy you, I'm doing that to honor you. And he bought it, you know, so it was fine. But on the Guild, we wanted something that was different, but that it still looked Guild-esque. I thought, well, a rectangular would work because these actually work. When I'm on stage, especially in bright lights, I can see this really easy, you know, and so they work for me. They're functional. The Guild G is also something that's a bit different. This is vintage. This was actually from Duane Eddy's guitar. And so I said, well, I want a little Chet on here. I want a little Duane Eddy, get my heroes involved here. I've always said the best guitar is the one when you're walking up to play and do what you do, you're not thinking about it anymore. You're just into your music. And this guitar has absolutely done that for me, and I'm very proud to say that.